4 o'clock. Let's call the Mandan Public School District number 1 meeting to order. It's Monday, June 22nd at 4 o'clock. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, everybody. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Is there any changes to the agenda? I think there is one clarification on the administrator's report B. The time for that meeting is at 4:30 Central Time rather than 2:30, so that would be a change in relation to it. Is there any other changes? Nothing from the administration? Any board members? All right. What are the wishes of the board on the agenda with that change?
I'd move to approve the agenda as presented.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Anybody in the audience wish to address the board? Anybody wish to address the board? Seeing nobody standing, we'll move on. The next item is recognize and thank outgoing board members. We have 2 board members that are ending their terms, Kama Huvestal and Marnie Peel. Both of them started in 2014 through 2026, so a good 12 years. Thank you both very much for doing that. Kama was on the student achievement, I think, the whole time, right? And Marnie was on policy and personnel. Both going to be missed a lot in relation to those, so thank you for that. We do have a little bit of something for you guys. When you're done, you're going to have to give these back because they need to get corrected. So we're going to do it. They would like to take us a picture, so if we can maybe come up front here, we'll take a picture, all right? Somebody taking pictures? Hmm?
Give our names spelled.
No, you got to come up here to get this picture. Yeah, you can. All right.
I could photobomb.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want everybody?
No.
You can keep that one, trust me.
That's really cracking me up, actually. Or, with sincere appreciation. Or, you were okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you all very much. You have done great work for all the citizens of Mandan and all the students. It's been greatly appreciated. Hopefully you keep on doing good things for Mandan and the citizens and the students. I know you all will. So thank you for doing that. Before we move on, I also want to do one for Dr. Bitts. I think we need to include that here in relation to it. Tonight is his actual last day, last meeting, everything associated with that. Dr. Bitts, you were started in 2010, and you become superintendent in 2012. Since 2012 to 2026, we grew roughly 1,200 students in relation to that. We opened up 3 schools, Red Trail, Lakewood, Mandan High School, all big projects in relation to it. I first met you when we started working on Red Trail in relation to it. So that has been a good thing in regard to that. You were superintendent in a lot of other schools, Emerado, North Sargent, Milner, Hillsboro, and things like that. You're now going to take on and going to be on the small schools. That'll be great to keep you involved in the legislature. And a lot of people trust you, and they rely on you, and they look to you for answers and things like that. So having you there will definitely be a good thing. You put together your team in relation to it. You had 2 blue ribbon schools, which is a big thing. With that. ESEA Distinguished School at Mary Stark, and then you had the Unified Champion School, ESPN Honor Roll School, which is the first one in the state, so that was another big thing. So putting your team together for those. And then, an individual award, North Dakota Superintendent of Schools in 2020, and the Harold Schaefer Alumni Award in 2017. You've done a lot of things. And then I did one other thing here. You'll see I got a few things in my hand here. I ask all the board to put down one word to describe you. Dedicated. Dedicated. That word's come up twice. A friend. Integrity. Visionary. Class. Integrity. A listener. And inclusive. There's a lot more words we could use in relation to that, Mike, but thank you. Mike, we got one last thing for you. And I'd like to ask all the board and everybody, you guys all too, come on up here. Let's take a picture with all of us. Mike, we could talk all night in relation to it, but I was told we had to be out of here by 5:30. So,
Just thank you very much. That's means a lot. Thank
does
you.
anybody else want to add anything? I know you don't have to. I covered it, but if you do, it's up to you. All right. Thanks, Mike. All right, then we'll move on to the administrator's report. The first item on the agenda is child nutrition update with Jewel Meyer. Welcome.
Update of our last year.
If you could use the microphone there, please.
Sorry.
Thank you.
It's over here. I'll start off with our CEP schools. Next year, we're going to continue with Lakewood, Mary Stark, and Roosevelt. We won't be adding any more. We could have possibly added Lewis and Clark, but after some discussion, we decided that wouldn't be beneficial. In 25-26, we served 133,256 breakfasts. We served 515,654 lunches. Our average daily participation for lunch was 67%. Our breakfast was 17.28. For breakfast, we were up 1,800 meals. For lunch, we were up a little over 3,500 meals. Our a la carte sales from 24-25 to 25-26, we had a total growth in sales of $41,816. Our high school was $264,000 some odd dollars. Our middle school was almost $82,000. Summer feeding, we do from July 1st through July 31st. We are averaging approximately 300 meals plus a day. between our parks, and then we combined Roosevelt, Mary Stark, and Custer out at Fort Lincoln due to construction at the different schools. Next year, we will be offering some new menu items. You will find that in the next few years, we'll be moving more towards some speed scratch cooking, more whole foods. We're going to start a farm to school produce program, and we're going to be moving away from some of those more processed food items. Next year, we will also be offering whole milk, 1% and 1% chocolate milk. We did taste tests kind of across the state with our large city districts, and we all found overwhelmingly that the kids prefer whole milk. But they will have the 1% option. Last week, I just came back from a farm to school tour. So not this year, but in 27, 28, we will be implementing a farm to school program. We'll be contracting with a variety of our local producers for cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes, carrots, and corn. I'd also like to start working with each of the schools to do some education between the students and the producers, so they can kind of see where our food comes from and get them excited about our fruits and veggies. This year, though, we will spotlight our local vendors or products that we already use. Right now we use local honey, and we have some local vendors that we try to get our beef from, or some of our beef and some other local products. We also are looking at installing vending machines, hopefully in the high school and the middle school. That would provide our students, they could get a la carte items, but they also could get a reimbursable breakfast or lunch out of those machines, and they can use their lunch numbers or a credit card number. And we are allowed to have those turned on for 24 hours a day. So we don't have to keep our a la carte open. We don't need to use that labor. The kids can grab something, before practice or after practice or anywhere in between. I've done a number of, I went to West Fargo and Fargo, and they just put their machines in February, and they are finding that they are selling items out of those machines in addition to the kids going through the line. So it's an additional, approximately, I just spoke with Dana in West Fargo, and they have about between $2,000 to $3,000 additional a month in just one machine for schools that are comparable to our size. And then lastly, this year we had to go out for bids for our prime food vendor, which you guys will be reviewing. And basically, points were awarded for different criteria, and we had 3 vendors submit bids, U.S. Foods, Cashway, and Cisco. And that is it.
Any questions for her? Thank you.
I was just going to say, it's not a question, but I'm very excited about this this farm to school program. I've looked into it myself, and I've been very happy that you're doing this. So
Yeah.
I think that's very exciting.
It was really exciting. I had so many takeaways. I was out there, for 4 days, and it was amazing. Minnesota has an excellent farm to school program, and it's exciting. I feel like North Dakota is still maybe in their infancy, but we will get there. I was with the directors from Fargo, Bismarck, West Fargo, and Grand Forks, and we are all on board, and we have a lot of great ideas that I think that we can work with DPI, and we can grow it, because we have a lot of local producers just in our area. We have about 10, and so I'm super excited about that.
All right. As long as you're here, Ms. Meyer, as long as you're standing there, Why don't we go to new business B, review and consider awarding for a prime food vendor? That was what she was referring to there, and we might as well just take care of that item if that's okay with the board. So if you jump down, it looks like it's on about page 53 in relation to it. And you just want to maybe just briefly walk through that, and then we'll, as a board, take it.
Sure. So like I said, there was, we gave points for the criteria was lowest bid cost, a product list, including our commodity NOI and fee-for-service items based on our projected usage from the beginning of August through the end of July of next year in 2027. Also, lowest price of our distributor markup for items that are not on our product list, which would be our cost plus a fixed fee. We had the ability to meet service and bid terms as identified in the RFP. The most items locked in on the product list that I submitted for the beginning of August 26th through July 31st of 27. And then most number of stocked items on the product list. And then also incentive for early payment and or the ability to pay with a credit card. Once you get into, we had 154 total items in the market basket. And after reviewing and going through and assigning those product list points, Cisco was our highest point, total points, with 97 points. Cashway came in at 85 points, and U.S. Food came in at 70.
Thank you. Any questions on that? What are the wishes on the board of the review and consider awarding for the prime food contractor, which they recommended to be Cisco?
I would move that we approve Cisco as our food contractor.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second? Second. And we have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you very much, Ms. Myers. Nice seeing you.
Have a
nice
nice
summer. Next item on the agenda is North Dakota School Board Association Southwest Regional Meeting, July 16th in Dickinson at 4:30 Central Time. Dr. Rederath?
Yeah. Before I move on to that, I know she just left, but I do want to commend Jules. Been excellent in her first year for us, thinking outside the box and doing things creatively, and we've really appreciated her. But yes, the North Dakota School Boards Association Southwest Regional Meeting is July 16th in Dickinson. It's 3:30 to 6 p.m. Mountain Time, so 4:30 to 7 p.m. Central. I do plan to go. If anybody would like to attend with me, we just let me know and we can get you registered. Not everybody understands what it means to be a school board member or the things you encounter, and I think having an opportunity to maybe talk with some other school board members and be a part of the meeting, if you're able to, would be a great experience. So please let me know if you'd like to join.
All right, and that would be open to our two new board members
Yes,
too, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, just so you're aware of that.
And then the next item on there is the Indian Education Summit is July 28th and 29th here at the state capitol. They always have wonderful speakers and different opportunities. So again, if you would like to attend, please let me know and we can get you registered. And then finally, just to have it on calendars, October 8th and 9th is the North Dakota School Board's convention. The new member seminar is the first day, so the 8th, that's required. And we've spoken with both Ashley and Jill about attending that, but we'd highly encourage if you're able to put it in your calendar and be there. You can let me know now, but at very least put it in your calendars as an opportunity.
All right. And should I let you know, Dr. Rederath, if they want to go?
Yes, on any of these three items, please let me know if you'd like to attend and we'll get you registered.
All right. Just let her know if you want to go to those, and they'll make sure it happens. Thank you. All right. Next item, update on Lewis and Clark on the water damage from May 29th. Mr. Legacy.
Yeah, just a quick update. I know you are all aware of it, but the community may not be. We had a water main break at Lewis and Clark Elementary School. Happened back on the north part of the building, right behind the gym. Happened overnight, and when our custodian came in at 4:30 in the morning, we had water running out the doors. So not a good morning for Mr. Polkebrack at the building. We had roughly 2 to 3 inches of water through about 2/3 of the building. So we called Aero service team that morning. They had staff on site within about an hour to start getting the water cleaned up. We are going to have quite a bit of repair to do. All of our flooring will need to be replaced, including the brand new gym floor. Honestly, it could not have happened at a better time in a school. May 29th gives us all summer to hopefully get it put back together. But it's going to be a push to the end of the summer to get back in there. Aero has been great to work with. North Dakota Insurance Reserve Fund, they've been very good to work with. This is a covered loss, so most of the damages will be covered. All of Aero's work, all the flooring will be covered under insurance. We do have some costs, but it will be minimal. So they're still in there working. We'll start seeing flooring go in a matter of weeks. So
Our share will be the deductible and then what it costs to fix what actually broke, correct?
Yes, we'll have the $7,500 deductible, and the water main that broke is ours, some concrete work in the back. So there's some costs, but thank goodness for insurance.
Any questions on that?
What percentage do we pay of the water main break, for repair?
We pay for the pipe itself and then the excavator work that had to come in. So Bowers Excavating, they had to come in, dig up the old pipe. They broke up some asphalt and concrete behind the building. That will be ours to replace. And the pipe itself, that's minimal.
And does that go just to our building, just to Lewis? Or?
Yes, the break happened right underneath the building where the water main comes vertical into the building. That's the part that broke.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thanks, Mr. Legacy. We'll move on to the consent agenda. On the consent agenda tonight, we have review and consider approval of previous board minutes from May 18th, 2026. Review and consider approval of May 2026 bills. Review and consider approval of May 2026 revenues and expenditures. What are the wishes of the board?
Make the motion to accept the consent agenda.
We have a motion. We have a second. We have a motion and a second. Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes. Sorry. Next item is unfinished business. We have no unfinished business. We'll move to new business. First item there is canvass and approve results of the June 9th, 2026 school board election. Mr. Legacy.
Yes, you'll see in your packet the results from the June 9th school board election. We had 3 vacancies, and our top 3 vote getters were Ashley Jacobczyk, Jill Miller, Darren Haugen. I'd like to congratulate them and recommend the board to certify the election results and declare Ashley, Jill, and Darren elected to the school board for a 3-year term.
All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I move that we approve the June 9th school board election.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
A second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Congratulations, Ashley, Jill, and Darren. We'll see you at the first meeting when we reorganize. So, thank you. Congratulations. Item B was review and consider awarding for prime food vendor, which we've already done. So we'll move to C, review and consider approval of joint facilities fund dollars to repair track and Starion Sports at the Starion Sports Complex. Mr. Legacy.
Yes, you'll see a quote in your packet from Banon. That is a track repair company. Normally, these items go to our January Joint Facilities Committee to approve. However, we didn't know they were coming on site into our area until after that meeting. So that's why the full board is seeing this. There is cracking along lane 8. I believe it's about 1,200 feet of cracking at the sports complex with the track that needs to get repaired. And with Banon being here doing the track at the bowl, it actually saves costs for us to approve these repairs right now while that company's in town. These funds we'll use the joint maintenance fund. The park district, the school put $50,000 each into a joint facilities fund for projects just like this. It's unusual to come to the full board with this, and we wouldn't have had this, had we known about this in January, this would have been taken care of. But since we're after the fact, we're asking for board approval to move forward. we will use the joint maintenance funds. The Park District did approve this at their I don't remember which meeting it was. Their earlier June meeting. It has been approved by the Park District, and I would recommend approval. We do need to see the repairs done.
All right. And I know when I walked around at graduation, I saw the cracks there. They need to be fixed. It's a safety issue.
Yep.
What are the wishes of the board?
Can I ask a question first?
Yeah.
So not this last year's this graduation, but the year before when we were in the school, was there some work done on the track at that time?
It wasn't so much the track, it was some of the concrete around there. There was some ADA requirements that they needed to get fixed, and they were trying to schedule them, and they didn't want to put any blackout dates in there, so.
Okay.
All right, what are the wishes of the board on the repair?
I'd make the motion to approve the Banon Sports Circus proposal for the track.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing them, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is review and consider approval of Mandan Public School handbooks for 2026, 2027 for the elementary schools, the middle school, the high school, alternative education, and virtual.
Yes, and I'll touch on kind of some of what I'd call the more substantial changes in them. I don't know that we want to go line by line, but then if there are any questions, please let me know. With the elementary one, honestly, the only thing that's going to change in there is the dates. They felt like the elementary handbook was what it needed to be, pretty dialed in. We added the information on the watches last year with some of the electronic devices, but felt like that was still a good fit. The middle school, probably the most substantial change, I believe it's page 91 of the packet, but they put both in the middle school and the high school, you'll see this, the addition of utilizing a wand to search students if there's reason to believe that they have a vape or a weapon. This was a request to the administration, obviously not wanting to put hands on kids when we can avoid it, that if we have a concern about or a report about a vape or a weapon, that they would have the ability to use a wand to do kind of an initial sweep of the student. And it outlines in the handbook it would only be for if there's reason to suspect that there's something going on. It's not something that we would randomly do. So that's really the most substantial change to the middle school handbook. There's some other minor ones, but that would be the one I would highlight. Same thing you'll see in the high school in searches, the addition of the wand, as well in the high school one. Just something to note on page 10 of theirs, I think it's page 103 of the packet, you'll see a change in driver's ed. I'm really excited. We've been able to expand how we've been able to offer driver's ed. We have a couple of additional teachers, and with Canvas, we have a kind of a hybrid option now that kids can take during the school year where they can do the coursework on Canvas and then do the driving hours with our teachers. And it's been really successful and really an exciting expansion of that programming. So I'm mainly noting that just for your awareness that that's really taken off. Yes.
Dr. Rara, just a question on that. When our students go through that, does our instructors for behind the wheel have the capability to stamp it so they don't have to go through the...
Yes.
They do? Okay.
Yep. And
I know not everybody does. That's why I was asking.
Yep, and we're able to do it at a lower price than if they were to have to go to a driving school in town. So it's been a real nice, honestly, kind of community service that we're able to provide.
Okay.
I was going to say, we utilized it last fall for my son, and the online was a lifesaver for him because the summer just gets too busy for him.
Yes.
It was a great opportunity for him. I'm glad the school's providing it again.
Yep.
And then they do get high school credit for it. I think it's a quarter credit, and it does count in their GPA. So I think it's a win-win for our community and for our students and families.
No, you're good. And like I already noted, page 18 or page 15 in the Mandan High talks about the changes in searches, just a little bit clarification. And then they did some work and some clarification around late work in their handbook that you'll see on there. I believe it's page 18 of the actual handbook and 111 of the packet. And then both for alternative ed and virtual ed, very minor changes, nothing substantial in those.
Dr. Ritterath, could
Yes.
you just maybe speak a little bit about the change from Power School to Infinite Campus Just so everybody's kind of aware of a change coming here.
Yes. So the state provides us a vendor in Power School, or has traditionally. That's where we do our attendance, where we do our grades, and some other things. Well, we are moving to a platform called Infinite Campus.
That's
So
statewide, right?
That's statewide. It's not something that anybody had a choice in, the opt-in or out of. This is coming. Our tech department, our administrative assistants have already spent lots and lots of hours in training and learning this new platform. So at the very end of June, as of July 1, we will no longer have access to Power School. It'll be read-only, basically, for some data information, and we will transition over to Infinite Campus. We anticipate there'll be hiccups, and it's not that anybody's not doing a good job. It's just it's a huge transition, state level down. Our goal really next year within Infinite Campus is, can we take attendance and can we do grading? And then we will build out from there. There's hopefully a lot of capabilities in it that we can start to streamline some of our other programs, but we got to walk before we run. It shouldn't impact our elementary too extensively as far as they need to take attendance. We will still use Mastery Connect for our grading and our report cards, so it shouldn't affect them quite as dramatically as our middle school and high school are going to have some bigger learning curves on the grade book and just the different aspects of it. So we anticipate a lot of our back to school PD with staff will be centered around Infinite Campus, and honestly into next year that'll be a big focus of what we're working on.
What about families?
We are hoping to get some information out to parents early August. We didn't want to do it too soon with the idea that it can get lost in translation, and we don't really have anything to show anybody right now, because we are transitioning. So once we have some of those pieces up and running, we will communicate with parents on what that looks like. We're also moving to something called Parent Square. Remind is no longer. And so it's a system just like or similar to Remind of how we will do our messaging. So all of that we're hoping around early August as kids start to come back for registration and open houses that we can have that information available.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just trying to start educating people. Because
Absolutely.
It's a
And
big
I
education
can't
component.
say enough about like I said, our tech department, our administrative assistants, our technology coordinators. I mean, this is a big lift. Even though the state pays for all of it, it's a lot of man hours and it's a lot of time figuring out how this looks and putting trainings together. And they've done an excellent job for us.
I've been involved with system chaining. It's a change.
I think 3 years from now, it'll be great. I think it'll be a better product. It's just getting there.
Chairman Wolf, I had a question.
Yeah.
Dr. Rederoth, this is a small thing, but
Yeah.
God bless middle school. There is a section on odors.
Yes.
Yes, and it does, in there it says strange odors, and that just sat a little bit wrong with me
Sure.
because there probably could be a strong odor. It could be, it's subjective, and it just felt a little bit like
We
that
can-
word just,
We
I know
can
it's
change
small,
that.
but
No,
I
we can change that.
was feeling it.
There was one other word where it said the new legislative passed on the cell phones on the top of one of the things.
Not new
That's
anymore.
not new anymore.
Yes, we can
I want
change
to take
that.
the word off of there. All right. Anybody else have any recommended changes? Seeing and hearing none, what are the wishes of the board on the handbooks?
With the addressing the issues that we brought up, I would move to approve the handbooks for all of the schools, elementary, middle school, high school, alternative ed, and virtual.
All right. We have a motion. We have a second. We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Please call roll.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Moving on then, the next item is review and consider request to hire the following certified staff. Andrea Schreiner, counselor at Mandan Middle School. Dr. Rederoth.
Yeah, we would recommend that you accept this hiring and welcome her to Mandan. She's replacing Christy Fry, who left to go to Bismarck.
All right. If you're looking for it, it's on page 148. What are the wishes of the board on the request to hire?
I'd move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Welcome to the Mandan Public School family, Ms. Schreiner. We'll move on then. Review and consider suspending a first reading and approving a second and final reading of policy KT, prohibition of fireworks on school district property. Before Dr. Ritterath talks here, because of the time frame, and we need this done, ready to go for next month. We're not going to have another school board meeting, so we're going to suspend the first reading and approve a second and final reading. So once we approve it, it'll be an approved policy. So just understand what we're doing here, just so everybody knows that and the public understands what we're doing. And then I'll turn it over to you, Dr. Ritterath, to explain the policy.
Yes, and my intention too is if it is adopted today to put it on the first policy and personnel agenda as well, just to take a look at it since we did waive a second reading to put it in front of them right away. As you've probably seen advertised, MPO and the city are doing a rather large fireworks display on the 3rd of July and had reached out to us and we've been able to coordinate some of our student groups manning our parking lots at the middle school and high school to offer some parking with that. It's a concern for us every year. We tend to block off our parking lots of people doing fireworks on school property, the mess, the hazard, those sorts of things. And one of the recommendations in meeting with PD is that we adopt a policy that prohibits fireworks on our property because that allows them to go in then and enforce it and have people leave if they are doing fireworks. We can't do an ordinance like Parks and Rec is able to do, but we can have a policy in place so it at least allows the police department, if they know that they can go into our property and shoot people out, whether it's the middle school, high school, Fort Lincoln, wherever it's at. It allows them the flexibility to do that. I did send this to Chief Ziegler for feedback. He didn't have any changes to it. It's something, so for me, it's a starting point with it. I think it meets our needs for this year, and like I indicated, if it's approved, I will put it in front of policy and personnel for a little bit of a deeper dive this year if we want to change anything in it.
And one of the other concerns I had a little bit is we've got a pretty big lot right now that we just planted grass and spent a lot of money on when we tore down the school, getting done in relation to it. And we really don't need that tore up with people driving on it, and also with fireworks and a mess laying there for our staff to clean up. So
Absolutely.
I think it's really kind of important that we let people use them on the streets, do whatever they want, but not on the school property. And it's a safety issue.
Absolutely, and we're working with Charlie Kopp, our head of maintenance, is getting some signage, and MPO is also helping us get some signage to help at least block some places off and at least indicate that there is no parking or fireworks allowed.
Questions? Go ahead.
Speaking of the old high school area, is that going to be all gated off so that people can't get on there?
No, I think we're just going to have some signs up around there of no fireworks, but I don't think we have a reasonable way to gate it off.
Any other questions? All right, what are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we suspend the first reading and approve the second and final reading of policy KT, the fireworks prohibition.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second. We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you for putting that together.
Yeah.
Review and consider approval of classified wages for 2026. Dr. Ritterath.
Yes, you'll see the proposal in your packet. We're proposing a 3.5% wage increase for our classified staff for this coming year. If you'll see historically, we've done some nice work, I think, in the last 5 years of trying to get our classified wages up a bit. If you'll remember, we did right around 3% for teachers. So I will stand for any questions, but I'd recommend approval.
Yeah, and I was actually listening to the city one. I think they were looking at a 3.5% too.
Yeah. And it is, our foundation aid only went up 2.5% this last year. I think obviously we'd always want to pay people what we can, but fiscally you have to be aware of those things as well.
All right. What are the wishes of the board on the classified wages?
I move to approve the classified wages as presented for 2026 and 27.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion?
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
Would you like me to abstain from voting on this? with that issue or not?
It's okay.
Everybody okay? Nobody has a problem with it? All right, thanks for bringing it up. And in case anybody's wondering, Rick's wife works for the school district, so that's the reason for it. You okay? Hope you're okay with me saying that, but just so people understand. All right, so yeah, go ahead and vote. Nobody has a problem with it. Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is review and consider approval of business manager contract for 26-27. Dr. Rederath.
Yes, that's also included in your packet, and looked at doing 3.5% there as well. When looking at comparable size districts, that puts us right in line with similar size districts would be for the business manager position. So I'd ask for your approval.
All right, what are the wishes of the board?
I'd make the motion to approve the business manager's contract, 26, 27.
We have a motion, we have a second? Second. We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Last item on the agenda, review and consider approval of school board member compensation for 26-27. Dr. Pitts.
Yeah, we haven't.
Saving you for the last.
They are. No, this hasn't been addressed since we kind of addressed it and then we let it sit for a while. I think it's been 5 years since we looked at it last time. And I just, if you look, we've got on the last page of your packet, I believe it's page 153. It shows you some of the Class A schools, our peers. And other than Devils Lake, Watford City, who are below us, we are towards the bottom end, and I know no one runs for school board for the money, but I'd like to at least stay current and address it. I guess my recommendation would be that we would raise pay from $5,000 a year to $5,500 a year. If you look at the other school districts, they also all pay their president a little more than we pay than the other board members. I would recommend the president gets $6,500. That's not something we have done. Mr. Wolf knows I call him often with questions and updates. I communicate with him, and he has to deal with some things that not everybody else has to deal with, and whoever the president is, he or she will have to do that. So I guess my recommendation, and you can change it or do what you want, would be $5,500 per year for members and $6,500 for the president. And I can answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions?
Chairman Wolf?
Yep.
I would like to make the motion, but I'm going to tell a story first because it's my last meeting. So when I started 12 years ago, before my hair was white, I was sitting here for my first meeting, and I was brought some paperwork, and I said, well, what is this? And I had served on 2 Montessori boards, 1 million PTOs, Rotary boards, every board you can imagine I've been on, right? So they bring me this paperwork. I say, what is this? And she says, it's so you can get paid. And I said, oh, we get paid? I was astonished because this is something I learned from my parents, is that you step up and you serve your community, right? So I just want to say before I make the motion for this that I think, as Dr. Bitts said, none of us are here for the money. It's lovely. I'm not complaining about it, but that's not why you run. It just shows, but having that, paying school board members, paying public servants, it does show that the commitment that people bring to this is valued, that it matters, because this kind of service is what keeps a community humming. Like, you can't run a school, you can't run a park board, you can't run a city unless people step up to serve. And so I want to say that I'm fully in support of raising this, but also that I really encourage people to run, because these roles, this work, it's been the honor of my life to do it for 12 years. So anyway, I wanted to say that before I was done. And with that, I would like to move that we raise the school board member's salary to $5,500 and the president's compensation to $6,500 a year for the upcoming future until this comes up again.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion?
The only thing I would say in this, and I don't so much have a problem with raising the president's position, the chairman's position, because you do have a lot going on, and you're the right arm to the superintendent. I'm just not necessarily believing that individual board members need to be increased.
Okay. Anybody else?
I will say it's been 5 years, I think, Dr. Bitts, since we last raised that, and so I just think from that perspective, it's just it hasn't been excessive in any way, shape, or form, and it brings us up a little bit in that larger school district ladder.
Anybody else? All right. Please call roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Next item on here is future meeting dates. January 25th, Insurance Committee, 4 p.m. at the Brave Center. July 20th, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. City Hall. You do have that 5:30 City Hall on July 20th. That'll be a reorganization meeting. August 3rd, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. City Hall. August 17th, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. City Hall. August 17th, school board retreat at 6 p.m. City Hall. I think we're going to have a little discussion on property and what we own on that one at that meeting. And I think one of the things we want to talk about. August 31st, Facility and Finance Committee, 5 p.m. at the Brave Center. September 8th, regular school board, 7 p.m. City Hall. September 21st, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. City Hall. September 21st, budget hearing, 6 p.m. at City Hall. Any other meetings that should come before us? All right. Thank you, too, for all your board work. Appreciate it very much. Don't be strangers. Mike's always open for anybody in the community. And Dr. Bitts, congratulations on your retirement. Get out and do some golfing. Have some fun. And when you want to make that breakfast call, we'll all come over for breakfast because your wife don't eat breakfast with you. All right. Meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everybody.